Here we go, boyos. It's been a long wait, but our fuel injectors are here. Gonna give you guys a quick unboxing on this one, maybe test them out and see how it goes. Straight from China. Oh, look at that. Most Plus 750cc, made in China. Ooh. They come with little clips. I'm not sure if that's what mine currently are, but that would be convenient. However, these are high impedance, or so they say. We'll test that while we're in there. But we got 4 little piggyback plugs, which is nice. We'll just pull one of these guys out of here. They said it came with all of the gaskets, which it did. Huh. These are what we are testing. Currently we have AW11 supercharged injectors on the DSM, which do not flow enough. So we're going to go ahead and test these Chinese eBay injectors and see how much they flow. Pull the fuel rail off of the current car and slide these guys in here. Hard work getting that guy out, but I think I've got an idea for testing flow. So we know that these are like 330cc or so, and we're not positive what our fuel pressure is. I don't know what the factory DSM pressure is. It's probably like, I don't know, 40 psi. These are rated at 45 psi though. So I'm going to leave one 330 in here and test it while I'm testing the rest of them. And I'll set up my jig here. The best part about being a DSM guy is that you always have spare parts, like a second fuel rail. And we're going to connect this on the bottom side of this guy, and actually might be able to line up the bolt holes and have it flow right into this guy. This is what we got here. Just zip tied together. Probably not falling apart. All we have to do is capture everything that comes out of here. So we'll do one at a time for a set amount of time. Now they say that these are high impedance injectors. So we'll test resistance across the coil with one hand. And we've got, this is ohms, we've got 12.6 ohms, 12.6 ohms, 12.6 ohms, that's pretty accurate. And this is the Toyota, 3.5 ohms. So, the Toyota one requires an injector resistor, which we had wired in before. We're going to get rid of that for this test. The key is currently on, and I don't see any major leaks coming out of the injectors. So that's a good start. The fuel pump is now on. Kind of hard to hear over the buzzing lights in here, but I don't see any leaking coming out of the injectors yet, so that's a good start. I went ahead and depinned one of these plugs so that I can use it for test. So what I've done here, positive to the battery, negative, literally just a switch. And that's what it does. We need to capture that fuel. So we're going to set up a timer, and we're going to time a 10-second pulse. I'm going to just start a timer, flip the switch after the timer's already started, let it go for 10 seconds, shut it off, and then either repeat until we have a proper amount of fluid. We should get 750 cc's, which is 750 milliliters of fluid. This is not super scientific, but you know, we're getting it. Okay, so I have a stopwatch going currently. So I'm going to flip this switch, let it go for, I'll probably just go for 5 seconds at a time, but I'll pulse it for 5 seconds at a time, and get myself up to probably 30 seconds. So, I'm going to need to fix this so that it doesn't spray everywhere. Okay, we're getting ready. That was one pulse. Two pulse. I want to make sure that I don't overrun these coils. That was three pulse. And we'll see where we're at. So this is 6 pulses at 5 seconds each. And as you can see, we're between 350 and 1/2 liter. So that's like more than rated. Alright, we're going to redo injector number 1. That was a 10-second pulse. Another 10-second pulse. We'll do one more 10-second pulse. And this will be for half a minute, so we have to multiply this by 2. Okay. So, this is obviously laying on its side. We'll check the amount we have in here now. We're going to let the meniscus stop bouncing around here, but according to this, we're above 350 milliliters. So for a 750cc injector, we should be at 375 milliliters for a 30-second pulse. We appear to be above that. This obviously is not the perfect measuring device, but I can see at least that it's pretty close to where they measured it. And similar 2 times in a row. So I'm going to make a mark where this guy finished filling after 30 seconds, and we're going to use that mark to compare the other 3. And then we're also going to compare the GZE injector that we know should be right around 330 cc's per minute. So we have the mark for number 1. We're on number 2 now. We're going to do the same thing, 3 pulses of 10 seconds each. I need to do this a second time because I splashed a tiny bit out when I took the bucket out. However, we see that it's at least close. So you can kind of see the line here. We're making a trend. 3 is a lot closer to 2, which leads me to believe there may be a little bit of back pressure running them in a fuel rail like that. So this may not be the perfect test, but we mostly care about how much are we getting out, which looks like right around what they say. We're going to try a GZE injector with the same exact test. We have it plugged in through a resistor just like it was from the factory, and we'll run it the same way. In true project disappointment fashion, I cut the wrong wire, so I'm going to have to splice the positive back on. Idiot. Alrighty, I got it hooked up the right way now, and we'll do the same deal here. Alrighty, you can't make this stuff up. Probably less than half as far as volume goes, just a little over the 150 milliliter mark for the same pulse. It's either a 330 or a 385. It's the Japanese version. I've been told both numbers, but looks like the numbers are adding up. With just one more fuel injector to go, I'm going to go ahead and cut the whole thing I just made up and put the other one back in the hole and try it out. And that's where we are, right between 2 and 3. So, right around what they estimated it at. We'll throw them in the car and see if we run lean.
We're rolling? Okay, good. Crew. My whole crew's here. Oh, you can see like Mountain Dews on my desk. You'd think that Bushra would tell me about that, but she doesn't seem to care. Okay, here we go. Getting character shown. Here we go. Hello, viewers. I'm genuinely sorry about the sound quality on this last video. There's a pretty fierce buzzing coming from the lights, and there's only so much a man can do to remove it in post. Let's get to a couple bullet points here. As far as the injectors go, I've been running them for a couple of days now. I can't say anything about the longevity of them. Haven't run them for long enough for something like that. But they seem to be everything that they had advertised online. I bought them for $67 on eBay with the intention of doing this test and returning them when they did not flow as advertised. The only problem is that they seem to do everything that they advertise, so I'm kind of stuck with them. Let's make a quick pros and cons list. Pros, they cost is stupid low. And the flow rating appears to be accurate. Cons, it was pretty hard to get a clean idle on my car. Um, as far as tuning goes, we'll kind of see as time goes on. The other thing is potential reliability, which I can't really um, say anything to right now or against, but I know that I would not trust a high dollar machine to these things. The problem here is that you're going to buy big injectors to make big power. Big power is expensive no matter how you work it out. This is one of the most essential parts of your engine. Um, it has to be reliable at high power levels. I would never recommend that you go out and spend $70 on fuel injectors and expect to make reliable power on something that you care about. I've read many horror stories about injectors like these, people plugging them in and they just sit wide open, or, catastrophic failure in general. That being said, thus far I've been very impressed and surprised with what I got from eBay for $67. I'm going to continue to evaluate them, do some tuning and road testing, which you can look forward to in the future. As of right now, the car is running. I have driven down the road a couple of times and actually got it to run smoothly. Clean power delivery and a relatively smooth idle, and it seems to be doing okay. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Feel free to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell. I'm looking at you, Hans.